Hi everyone and welcome. My name is Lori McNorton, Floral Design Coordinator for Florist Review and Super Floral. And today I would like to share with you on our how-to video, building a wrist corsage using decorative wire. So to get started on this, we are going to pick out our wire. And Smithers Oasis has all kinds of different wires and different colors. So today I kind of stuck with the metallics, but feel free to use all colors, purples, blues, hot pinks, whatever, and you can mix and match. So what I've done, I've chose silver flat wire, copper aluminum, the etched wire in matte gold, and then I'm gonna use bullion as well. So like I said, I'm gonna build a base, which is gonna somewhat look like this when we're done. So I've taken my wire, and this is just a technique that I've found really easy to do. And so I'm going to take 3 wires, and you can do as many as you want. And I'm going to start my end because I'm going to secure all these and then kind of braid them. So I've got my needle nose, and I'm just going to curl those around. And then this is where the bullion comes in. And I'm going to take a longer piece, and double this. This not only becomes decorative, but it also secures these ends here. So I'm going to put that through my little end that I made and twist those and secure those 3 together. Leave that like it is. Put that out there. And then I'm also going to cut another piece for the other end. Go ahead and get that cut and have it ready. Now what makes this neat is that you can design this uniquely for your customer. You know, with fall coming, we have fall dances, high school, we have homecoming, and the younger generation likes everything built or designed with them in mind, and especially if it's made just for them. So, got my 3 wires. I'm just going to kind of braid this, weave it in. There is no right or wrong way to do this. You can do it loosely, you can do it tightly. But as I'm doing this, sometimes up and over, sometimes back down. Like I said, no right or wrong way, but I'm just trying to make this where you can see it also. And this is going to be, the reason why I kept this a little bit longer is because I want it to be able to wrap around the wrist. So it kind of has a little bit more unique look to it, like we did it especially for them. So we're kind of at the end. So I'm going to cut that off to where they're even. Oops. Again, take my needle nose and just curl that around. And that's going to secure my wires together, but this is going to make it a little bit more secure. And then I've got these 2 pieces, and we're just going to weave those around as well. So not only do they become a part of the mechanics, they also serve as a decorative purpose. Meet in the middle, tie them up. And there we have the base for our wristlet. There we go. Again, kind of the same thing. Now, if you wanted to make this a little bit more loose and decorative, I thought about taking a few pieces of the bullion. And again, the bullion comes in all colors too. Just be creative. You can do as much wire as you want, but again, I'm going to take these, wire that up. And on this one, I'm just going to do them a little bit looser. So when it's on their wrist, secure this around. And they can play with this as they put it on their wrist also. So it's not just so flat. And the bouillon kind of gives it a really dainty, decorative look. Okay, so there we have the base. Next is our flower selection, which I'm going to do some smaller blossoms. I have this beautiful orchid, some succulents, and then maybe a little bit of a decorative pin. This is Fitz Designs. They have all kinds of rhinestones and things like that. So I'm going to cut this up and actually work that in. So what I'm going to first do, well, first of all, I don't need those. I need my wire cutters. Is I'm going to use a leaf as a base to glue some of my heavier flowers on as I said, a base point. I've got my Oasis floral adhesive. Can't be without that when it comes to corsage work. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue and I'm going to work it right in here with this wire. And I don't want a lot. I just wanted, like I said, something as a base to put my heavier flowers on, my orchid, that kind of thing. I've got sedum here, which is in full bloom right now. Now I'm going to use the sedum because it's a little bit bigger, a little bit hardier, fluffier, and it also will give me a nice base again for my flower. So I'm just going to dab a little bit of glue here. And glue my sedum in. I'm just going to do 2 little pieces. Is this showing okay, Sean? Okay, great. All right, that's going to be the basis for my focus point right here. Also, while I'm at it, I'm going to take a little bit more of the sedum. And I'm just going to glue a couple little pieces throughout this wristlet that I made. And the good thing about this is that the wire is kind of all woven, so there are little space that you can tuck the little pieces in. All right, give that a few minutes. Well, it doesn't really need a few minutes, 30 seconds, just so that kind of adheres to that. Next, I've got this beautiful orchid. Like I said, this is going to be my main flower here. So I'm just going to glue that in. And as you can see, I'm gluing that into the sedum and into the leaf, because that's going to give us a nice, secure base. Then I've got, let's see, I've got all kinds of little things here. Got a pretty little rose. And the decorative leaf is kind of decorative, but also I don't want to see the whole thing. It makes for a nice base, but also a little ivy there. Kind of makes it have a little bit more natural look. So a couple ivy leaves in here. And like I'm saying, I'm just gluing onto the wire itself as I'm going down. Okay. I have this sweet little rose. I kind of picked the burgundies, the fuchsia, the golds, the oranges. Put that in. Got these little succulents, these little baby ones. Cut off. Do one more there. I like to add a little bit of berries, a little nice texture. Kind of clean the greenery off. And as most of you know, if you've worked with glue, it can be a little messy, but it can be a lifesaver as well. Maybe one more. Okay, let's see. My stomach is growling. If you hear an odd noise. I'm like, wow. That's what happens when you're kind of doing this live. We've got some mountain ashberry here. More here? Okay. I want you to be able to see it, so Sean's helping me here, making sure that you're able to view what we're doing. All right, so I have my flowers glued in. Like I said, I have a little bit of this decorative piece that again kind of is a mix between the metals. It's got a little bit of gold and silver and a little bit of rhinestone. What girl doesn't like a little bit of rhinestone? And again, I'm just going to cut that off and glue it in. Just a little bling here. Okay. So really that's all the flowers that we need. I could continue adding more, but I think this is plenty. It gives you a good idea of how to start the base on this. And then you'll want to leave it to the side and let it dry securely. Spray it with a finishing spray and then put it in a bag, seal it up and have it in your cooler. Now, please know that this is it's not quite dry, but this is the purpose of the wire if we can get this. I want to make sure that I'm not going to break off because it's not completely glued in. Sean, step over here and help me. This is why you have a date. We're just going to wrap Wrap this one around. There we go. And I'll hold that and you wrap that one around. Perfect, thank you. Made to fit any wrist. And there you have it. Beautiful little wrist corsage, lots of metallics, some bling. Who wouldn't love the little rose and the fail orchid? So I hope you like that. I hope you get a couple ideas on this. Be creative. You can add rhinestones, you could add beads. You can do just about anything, but at least this gives you an idea on starting with the base and how to build from there. So I hope you got a few good techniques from there. Be sure and watch us next week. We'll be back next Wednesday for our next how-to video. Until then, have a wonderful day, and thank you.